name is Amal Nergadkar. I'm the CEO of Patient Prism, and we have Judy K. Mozoff in our studios this morning. And we're discussing everything that has to do with building a great culture. Because we've known through business that when you create a great culture, you build great companies. And great companies have happy employees, and that translates into higher profits. Yes. So one of the key elements that I have in the books that I've read from Sinek to Coyle, a lot of people who espouse building a great culture talk about the importance of safety and how important it is for every team member in your organization to feel completely safe. Can you discuss that a little bit?
Safety is extremely important. The strength of our culture is really defined by the team as a whole. Sure. Because your culture is, one person can change the culture, right? So it's really about opening the doors, per se, and creating that open communication with the team. Sure. If the team isn't comfortable communicating with leadership, assumptions happen, and sure. Assumptions create so many problems. So it really is important that the doctors are approachable, the leadership team is approachable, whether it be doctors, managers, team leads, whoever has that role of leadership has to be very approachable, has to create the feeling of that they come from a place of care and concern, not judgment or criticism, sure. That they are open to hearing, they give feedback, they listen, they respect. Sure. I love the belief that we treat our team as well or better than we treat our patients. I think that that's a core value for the practice to really create the culture they desire. So that safety part is so important. If the team doesn't feel safe in sharing their thoughts or ideas, then you're limited to only what the brave few right. Do. So you're not really utilizing all your resources. And oftentimes you'll see where team members are afraid because they're thinking, what if it's a stupid question or sure. a stupid suggestion, or I look ridiculous. Everybody's worried about how they look to everybody else, right? So it's really important that the doctors or the leadership team are vulnerable, are real to their team as well, and let them know when they're not perfect either, and that maybe when they started they weren't as proficient at certain things, sure. and it's an ongoing learning process. I think it's so important for that in order to create the culture you desire.
Starting the conversation, I guess the leader, when he or she starts the conversation, is it a good idea to start with kind of pointing out their own vulnerabilities and faults maybe? That, hey, this is exactly like you said, that, when I started the practice, I made a lot of mistakes, and this is part of it, and I want you to not make the same mistakes. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. Is that something that leaders should start with?
I think it's really important, but I also think actions really speak louder than words, right? Okay. So oftentimes you hear that it's okay, you can make mistakes, we're here to support you, mm-hmm. and then somebody makes a mistake and it's like, who did that, right? And then everybody goes crazy. So it's really important that the actions support the words that we say. If someone doesn't do something, instead of coming and saying, how come this wasn't done, there's some magic words. You can say, I'm not quite sure what happened today, let's talk about it. Help me understand what happened. Those kind of things to start the conversation. And then when they say, well, I did this, or tell me why. And the energy, the words are only 7%. The energy, the body language, the tone, that's the rest. That's 93%. The energy, if I come to the room and I say, help me understand why you did this, the energy is judgmental. The words so it's really important that they're in a mindset when they're talking to that team member of calmness and care and concern.
Sure. I mean, when you bring a team together, I was reading this, I think it was General Commander Dave Cooper, who led the Bin Laden raid, and he was training these Navy SEALs, and when they used to come to him, they used to say, you can call me Dave, you can call me Coop, but don't call me Commander. What an incredible lesson, right? Mm-hmm. And we are Doctor this, Doctor that, mm-hmm. Doctor this. What do you think about those doctor behind? Does it create distance?
I think it really has more to do with how you respond to the team members. Sure. I think a title, you can still be called doctor and sure. not create distance. What I've noticed, it's important to be mindful our patients. Our patients are watching us. We're like we're in a fishbowl. They want the team to respect their doctors. And it's very important for a lot of patients, especially older patients, that you address the doctor as doctor. Otherwise, they feel you're being disrespectful. Behind closed doors, I think it really depends on the relationship. But again, it has more to do with how you interact than the title.
And your actions as well.
Absolutely.
Because you've got to be able to, I mean, you can say all the nice things in meetings, but if you're not acting in that way and you're not empowering, as you say, empowerment is a big part of your culture camp, is empowering people to be able to share their thoughts and ideas and fearlessly without feeling safe. So a great discussion. I mean, I've been a big believer of empowering people in my organizations to kind of say what they want, and the ones that do make you better. And as a leader, I have to continuously remind myself to be cognizant that people have ideas, and that because some of those people who are in the field, they're interacting with different sets of people, and there's no way for you to know all the things that are going on. And in creating an environment where people feel safe to share their ideas to make the organization better is definitely the right thing to do.
And they're going to see it from an entirely different viewpoint, which is going to help you make a better decision.
Absolutely.
You know, and just because they shared their point of view, though, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go that direction. It's important then, when you do come to a conclusion or whatever it is that you're going to implement that you share with the team, here's why we decided to go this direction. So they're always kept in that loop of communication.
That's a great discussion. I think as dentists evolve to this new era of dentistry where competition's heating up, there's an advent of dental support organizations out there. These kind of discussions and creating a great culture with the circle of safety become very, very important. So thank you for this discussion.
Thank you very much. Thank you.